yeah, that's the I don't know. I just have been hearing that everywhere. Like everybody is up in arms about both sides. It was kind of like when everybody was certain that Titan was going to be the most popular. Oh, there's not going to be any warlocks, or the same people but different people who were talking about, oh, there's not going to be any hunters. It's all going to be warlocks.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw around equal of everybody. In all honesty.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a
I
good
felt like
balance.
I was seeing more Titans. But I mean, I've also heard just as many people say they've seen more Warlocks, they've seen more Hunters. So I mean, it's it's random in the end, whatever you're going to see because of matchmaking. But it does seem that the community is pretty balanced, and the polls that we have done inside of our own community were exactly the 30, 30, 30 for everyone. So
yeah, pretty much.
Uh-oh. They're saying in the Twitch chat that we've lost sound. Oh, nope. They say it's
you're
back.
Good.
Yeah, it just went
that was
slightly.
Let's keep rolling.
Trogdor says sad panda, and I agree. So there is just so much to talk about, and I would like to start the conversation of favorite point in the beta. Like now that I've had a chance to sit back and think about what happened to me. Like during the beta, I was really just this zombie who I don't even know. I don't remember those days. I remember playing Destiny, but sleeping and eating. It just passed insanely, and so now I've had a chance to.
You did that?
I had to have, right? I wouldn't be alive if I hadn't. I think that's why those 2 days maintenance were. But yeah, so my favorite part of the Destiny beta was during one of the Iron Banner Crucible matches, and I want to thank Deej because part of the problems I have as a player result from me thinking that I'm camping, right? And there's a difference between camping and holding a position, holding a goal. And one of the live streams that it was either he did or TTL Cute was doing, Deej said to the other guys, all right, well, you two hold C, you two hold B, and me and Cute will hold C. Like it was their plan for two people to be at each of these to meet oncoming Guardians, and deal with them, in turn. And so at some point during the beta, it snapped. Like I couldn't just keep running out into the open to be killed. Like I had to start taking strategy into my own hands, and I started holding A on Venus. And when I started holding A, I noticed that people just started running into my scopes. And this one guy in particular, like I could tell that I had pissed him off because he had tried to come in from the same direction like 3 times, and this 4th time he like just charges at me. He jumps up into the air and he's about to do this Titan smash on me, and I jump up in the air and I punch him. I punch him right out of his already activated Fist of Havoc, and that is amazing. That is amazing. Like I've watched the replay of this footage so many times, and it was, I don't know. I'd like to say right now that I get my melee abilities from Halo 3. If you had a chance to play Halo 3, melee was a huge thing, and I meleeed this guy out of his Fist of Havoc. And that is hands down my favorite part of the beta. Like it happened also during Iron Banner, which I think is a big deal. I mean, everybody was capped at 8, and everybody was, once you got the best gear, you were splitting hairs between strength and whatever the other one was. Not intellect, that's for certain.
Discipline.
It was a difference between, a plus 10 on discipline, plus 11 on strength. And so I felt like Iron Banner was still a pretty big deal because some people were coming back with some mighty stuff. But that was it for me. River, do you have a specific moment in the Destiny beta where you just could have thrown down the controller, like hit dance, hit dance on the D-pad and then put down the controller and have had everything be exactly the way you wanted it to be?
I think my favorite part was whenever I finally got a positive kill death ratio. Whenever I first started, I was I was going into this game because I've been playing Halo, since Halo 1. And whenever I first went into this game, I was like in Halo mode, man. I was like, I'm ready to play this Bungie game. Let's do this. And I was just losing my rear off so bad. It was terrible, and I was disgusted with myself. I just couldn't believe how bad I was doing. But I started remembering kind of the conversations we would have. How this isn't Halo anymore. You need to be more tactical. You need more strategy involved in this. And as soon as I got that positive kill death ratio, I was like, this is much different. A lot of people say this is like Halo, mixed with Borderlands or something, but this game is completely different now that I got to play. This is something new, and it's amazing. And I can't wait to get my hands back on it in September.
Right, I cannot wait to get my hands back on it in September. I kind of hit a similar rock in the road. I think mine was more mental though. Like I would be afraid to come across you in the Crucible River. Like I've seen your stats, and they're not shy. They're not shy. You are not a shy player. As a matter of fact, you be sitting fools down.
Oh hell yeah! Sit down, them freaking fools. Love it.
So yeah, there was a couple games where my KD wasn't 1, but the majority were all over 1, and I just it just at some point it all made sense to me. Like I've really been working on my aerial game too. People don't see that coming for nothing.
No, not at all, man.
So
I mean,
if you see me on the other team, I'm not on the ground. Awesome. So, Warlock, do you have a moment that you had just, this is it, I could stop playing the beta and everything's right in the world?
Oh, yeah. For me, just because I'm not the PvPer, man, it was the moon mission. Oh my gosh. Like, I had so much fun. I mean, I did the mission with you, Remy, and we kind of just went through the mission, and then I jumped back on the moon, and I went exploring, and honestly, it was fun just to be one of the first people to find a few things and tweet about it and get all these tweets. They're like, hey, where'd you find that? And I just think that was my favorite part because I probably won't get to experience that when the game comes out because I got to work and I got family and won't have as much time to really spend in Destiny seeing the new stuff because after 2 days it'll all be done. So
yeah, I had a good time doing that mission with you on the moon too. I hated to have to rush through, which is basically what I had to do because I'm sharing the PlayStation 4 with Flounder, and I wanted to make sure that she got in and had a chance to play. So yeah, when we did the mission, we just ran straight through. Once she got back off, though, I came back in like right before it was turning off, and I explored the Hellmouth for like 3.5 hours. Like I just never left. And Destiny Overwatch, Martin, he was like, oh, you're still on the moon. Can I join your team? I'm like, hop in. And it didn't work that way. Once you were out, you were out. But I had a great time. I had a great time on the moon. I had a great time with you, and I'm looking forward to just being able to explore. Like, I know what you're talking about. I have kids too, and a family as well, and so it's not going to be all Destiny all day long. Like I'd really love it to be, but you got to balance these things out. And I think that if we keep between us, we will be able to explore things together. Like I think that there's going to be plenty to do. Even when you look at it on like a daily basis, there may be times when you are the first to get something new because it just is starting to happen right as you're logging on. I'm really excited about those things as well.
Yeah, and that would be cool if different like daily events happened at different times and not always, at 10 a.m. Pacific or something. I think that'd be really fun to kind of spice things up. Not saying that they would always do that, but maybe cater to those people across the pond and do something when they wake up in the morning that some other people might not get to do because they're asleep.
Well, that's what I liked about the Iron Banner, because they had them at different times. Not like with the Moon when it was just 2 hours on a specific day, but I think they did right with the Iron Banner in that aspect.
Yeah, I agree. It felt like a stumble at first because a lot of the Aussies were pretty upset.
No doubt.
But I think that we're going to see a much wider range of activities. Like I think that the main source of them will remain like PST. Like I think that it being Bungie time is important to the people at Bungie. But yeah, there's definitely going to be a catering to people all around the world. People want to play Destiny, and people also want to do the special things in Destiny. So, so yeah. So let's see, Jez. Was there a moment in time where you just could have put down the controller? I mean, clearly none of us were going to put down the controller, but was there a point where you were just like, this is the most amazing thing ever, and I need to give these people my money right now?
I was going to refute your original statement where you said that put it down, beta's done, that's it. That would never be a moment. Done. There would never be a moment like that.
Right, I had to modify it for you because I know of your detail-oriented self. But if there was, like, let's say in theory that Bungie said to you, "Look, just play until something really, really awesome happens."
As weird as it sounds, probably the best moment I had wasn't actually PvP, like rolling in with 5 other people. Obviously, we're gonna win, but just because we have like teamwork on our side, but I was just playing with random weapons before then, and I was not hitting any type of groove. And then when I finally chose a scout rifle and a sniper rifle, it felt like home.
That's awesome. That's really awesome, and that's a very interesting crevice of the game, because I remember that as well. Like I wasn't certain what I wanted to play with first, but you're right, that scout rifle is awesome. Like all of them, I loved playing with every single one of them. But yeah, that's funny. My dad actually also said that too. He said that he's never been able to feel like at one with the weapons in Halo. Like he's never thought, oh, this is an awesome gun, I can't wait to use it. And during the beta, he really found guns that he liked. He found guns that felt like home. Very, very interesting way of phrasing it. And really, how else could you say that? So how long was that in there before? Like, what were you trying before you went to the scout rifle?
Well, I tried practically everything, like just to play it. There was one match where we all rolled with hand cannons, and that was just fun on a visceral level, but it's not a very legitimate strategy.
I had a really good time with the hand cannon, and it was actually the one I figured that I was going to play with the least. Like I picked one up, and it didn't feel right. I moved from scout rifle to auto rifle, and then I tried to do pulse rifle, and I just can't do it. It's like a, I don't know, like a bucking horse. Here's where I want to shoot, and then there's where I'm shooting.
Yeah, it's got way too much lateral recoil.
But then I tried out a hand cannon for Shiggles, and it was fun. Hand cannon is fun. Like that's where I was when the beta cut off, was really like right in that first looking for pistols and changing out the scopes. Like I had such a great time with pistols. But yeah, it started with scout rifle. Awesome.
Hey, so I've got a question about that. Did you have like favorite weapons when you're up against different enemies? Like for me personally, if I was up against the Hive, I preferred my pulse or auto rifle. But if I was up against like just Fallen, I preferred the scout rifle. more than anything because I felt it was more accurate. Like, do you guys kind of have favorite weapons against different enemies like that? And how do you think that'll play in raids?
I pretty much just had scout rifle and shotgun for everything.
That's the only way to live.
Yeah,
I actually went I felt that too in the Crucible. I didn't want anything to do with the scout rifle. I had to have an auto rifle. It just really felt like the only viable defense against people who were shooting me also with auto rifles. Like I couldn't land the shots because they were too busy shooting me, and then I died after having hit them once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times if I was lucky, and that usually didn't take down their shields all the way.
See, when going up against
or you
Hive,
just run at them with a shotgun.
That didn't work for me either. There's a video out where Destiny Overwatch runs around with a shotgun and just massacres people. I highly suggest you guys find it. It's fun to watch. I watched it with Bife when he was hanging out over here those 3 days this weekend, and it's like magic. It's like these people just run right out in front of Martin.
Shoot me.
Right?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, hey, that's the wonders with Destiny. I mean, it really is grab any gun and just start pushing it to every situation. I mean, for me, like the hand cannon, I loved how it looked. It was terrible for me. I couldn't kill anything. I would use it with my Titan when I was like in a level 2 zone because I could kill stuff because my character was level 8 and I didn't have to worry about being useless. But personally, I mean, like I said, just looking for what you found. Like eventually, towards the end, 80% of my kills on the Crucible were done with my shotgun.
Wow.
Not with my scout rifle, not when I started using the auto rifle, but actually with my shotgun. It just became, for me, the thing of just run up, slide on the ground, shoot them in the face. And just repeat. And everyone else, I mean, different people playing the game would find different ways and different guns. And it's just hysterical, actually, to even find somebody who uses the exact same weapons like me, because if you start going around, everyone uses different guns. Everyone claims that their gun is more powerful than everyone else, and that other gun is OP, which is incredible. I mean, that really talks to just how balanced Destiny is. If everyone here, and I can go in the chat and everyone's going how this auto rifle is OP, or this shotgun, or this scout rifle, or this hand cannon, because they're just the best gun in the game.
Interesting. So did you have a moment, Leo, where if technically you had to put the game down after one amazing moment, what would it have been for you?
Gosh,
I'm too busy typing in the chat.
Maybe, totally not.
I didn't expect you to go back to me so soon.
I start talking, then I lose myself in the chat, then you pull me back, and now I'm lost in what's happening.
Come to us.
No,
stay with us.
Honestly,
yeah, we'll let Joe
my
say
greatest
something.
moment. No, I already came back with it. Probably was the first time I managed to get a spider tank and take it down by myself.
Interesting.
I mean, of course, it's. I filmed it, the whole thing. It's a terrible footage. It's basically me hiding behind a rock for 30 minutes, shooting pop shots, running out of ammo, running like a crazy maniac, punching a drag, hoping to God that some bullets fall out of him, and then continuing to hide behind a rock and keep shooting.
Actually, I think that if you're trying to solo one of those, that's actually the prescribed. That's the prescribed method: is hiding behind a rock for 30 minutes.
Totally. I mean, it was incredible. And then I'm passing by and doing the strike with other people, and they're like, why are you getting up behind that rock, or why are you getting in that building? I'm like, trust me, just trust me, it works. And then everyone else is dying, and I'm like an idiot hiding in a building, climbing out, shoot. And they're like, why are you there? Because as long as you're there, he shoots too high up. He can't actually shoot in the hole.
Was that in the right side? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, that was one. Yeah, the right side with the strike,
I did that
and
too.
Other times out in the open. But yeah, no, that I guess could be one moment. But if Destiny does something good, which I guess you could associate with something else they do in Titanfall, which is the idea of getting that oh my god campaign moment, which normally happens only in cinematic scenes, and just repeating it. Not too much that you just feel like you're just seeing explosions and craziness and the buildings falling apart and you just zone out of the game. But like just enough that you have some calm moments and then something crazy happens and you're like, what? How did that guy toss his super and it like flipped the corner and he killed 3 people and then he just walked away like a badass? Because that's really how the game's designed. And I don't know. I found it ridiculous. I kept forgetting that Xbox could record stuff with
too.
the Kinect functionality. And I would watch it like, oh my god, how did that happen? I was like, wait, no, Xbox, record that. And then I say that 3 minutes after the fact, so I have a recording that I didn't have to delete of me just running straight into a wall because I'm so excited because I managed to do something.
Oh.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Interesting. Interesting.
Please.
The first 4 days of the beta, like I barely saved any data, any videos. I barely saved any screenshots because every time I went to save to put out a screenshot, it said to me 1 of 30 in the bottom, and I thought that after 30 screenshots, it was just going to start deleting them. Then in those 2 days, where the maintenance was happening, I had like maybe 5 gigabytes of information, and I thought, oh, that's it. That's all I've saved. And so after the last 4 days, I had like 62 gigabytes of saved data. So the last 4 days, I've saved an amazing amount of stuff. And every now and then I go back to it. It's funny because Flounder will be sitting there next to me, and I will have started this, and she like looks up, and her eyes, like you can see in her face, like she doesn't understand what's going on, and she looks over at me, and I'm holding the PlayStation 4 controller, and she's like, "How are you doing this? How are you playing Destiny? It's my turn." But yeah, I had a really nice time recording all of that stuff. It was awesome. Did anybody else notice on the Spider Tank? There was a special part that was really hard to hit, but if you did insane damage to it.
Oh yeah, I saw someone on Twitch, Sir Proper. He and I had a long conversation, but he found all of the areas where you could do it, and it was like 5,000 damage if you did it right.
Right,
and it was pretty insane.
I did it
Where
by
was
accident.
That on the other side?
If you threw your grenade into the pod holes that open up and drop the bouncy bombs, or you shoot a rocket in there, it'll do the 5,000 damage.
Oh.
Also, if you throw a grenade, when it opens up, if you throw a grenade into the back, it'll do 5,000 damage as well. But you have to throw it past the core area. It has to just kind of throw in there and disappear.
That makes
Don't quote me on
sense.
this. Don't quote me on this, but I think the high damage numbers is when you blow off a leg.
I thought about that as well. And it's always funny when you say something like, "Don't quote me on this, Jez."
I didn't test it enough.
Right?
He was doing it without touching the legs at all, so I think it's if you're lucky enough to get that skill shot, basically, then you'll get the damage.
Because that's exactly what
he
it
did
is.
it like
It's a
4 or
skill
5
shot.
times on like 3 different spiders. He'd just kill one and come back and do it again just to find all the points.
I like it. All right, well, we are coming to the end of the episode. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we skedaddle?
Damn, we're already ending?
It's been an hour.
Already an hour.
Ish.
Wow, not a single thing I was actually thinking about talking about actually said.
Well, that's good. We still have many weeks until Destiny is released. So
why do you
save
remind
it.
me? No,
Save it.
don't say that. No,
Hey,
Destiny tomorrow.
We're 1 hour
now.
closer. We're 1 hour closer.
Yes,
We are 1 hour closer. I thank you all for spending that 1 hour with me talking about Destiny. Oh my God.
Listening at home.
Here's a funny question for everyone up here. How many still have the beta installed on at least one of their consoles?
I still have it on both.
I still have the
still got
alpha.
Oh,
Oh man.
shut up.
I still have the beta. I got rid of the alpha, but I got the beta still.
I still got the beta because of my Xbox self.
Now,
Right.
how many of you have tried to launch the beta after it was closed?
Just
I
once.
do. I do every couple of days, just in case.
Or the music.
Just once. Yeah, for the music. There you go.
I did it for the first part of like the first part of the beta was down. I'd log in and listen to the music, but since it's gone away, I'll log in, make sure that I can't play it, and then I'll move on with my day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, this is the end of our very first episode as a member of the Guardian Radio Network, and I'm very excited about the future with this group and that group. We are the first outsiders to be part of this Guardian Radio Network. There's Guardian Radio, there's Warlock School, and then there's us. And I think that this is a huge honor. I want to thank everybody over at Guardian Radio, for accepting this, for accepting us, and making us part of that collective. I think it's going to be a great future. 10 years. The game has not even been released yet, and we are already off to a great start. And I've got a great group of people. So why don't we do some shout-outs, starting with Leo. Who would you like to shout out to, Leo?
I always forget I'm first. Damn it. At some moment in these 10 years, I'm going to realize that you send me to shout out first, or somebody else will come along and I will no longer be first, so I'll actually have something prepared. So, I don't know. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. You guys are always saying crazy stuff. Usually off topic, which is more entertaining. This time it's not. It just reminds me how sad I am that I don't have Destiny now. Can somebody get me Destiny? I miss Destiny. So, yeah, awesome to be with you guys.
Great. Excellent shout out. Jez?
Shout outs to my boys at Prime Guard and the ladies.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
and
it.
the ladies. Excellent. Love seeing all the Prime Guard people in the chat. Chicken Lord. Always love seeing Chicken on in the chat. Warlock.
To the chicken.
I just love chicken.
Yeah, I've got two shout outs. The first one, his Twitch name's Trogdor, but I'm gonna call him Trog Troll, because he's been trolling the chat tonight. He's a coworker of mine, and I'm glad he was able to make it out. And then my second shout out is to JFX Bengals for doing his beard update YouTube video that will be coming out later.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's awesome. I'm in it. I'm kind of excited about that, and I want to see that final product when he gets it done.
Agreed. Very much agreed. I also had a really good time with JFX Bengals during the beta. We hung out. Also, same thing with Mjolnir 23. We did a strike. We hung out. It was cool. I plan on doing a lot more of that in the full release of Destiny, quite possibly for the rest of my life. River.
Well, all I really got is promotion material, man. Be sure to follow Guardian 1 on Twitter at G1net, G1net, and also the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Guardian1Network, all one word. That's it.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For my shout out, I would like to double down on the very same thank you I left at the end of Dear Bungie, Episode 1, Introductions. It went a little something like this. Senior engineer Michael Williams was quoted in A Mail Sack Between Storms as saying, "It's awesome to see all the speculation and excitement. It inspires us to work harder so we can show you the answers." Well, Michael Williams, senior engineer, I'm going to take this opportunity to single you out and thank you for inspiring me to discuss my speculation and excitement. It feels good knowing that my efforts are not wasted or unwanted. Thank you. It has been exactly 1 year since I made this statement, and the sentiment is stronger now than ever because in that year I have met so many wonderful people and been part of so many wonderful projects. Michael Williams, I cannot thank you enough. and I hope to see you at PAX Prime. For everybody in the Twitch chat, thank you for showing up. All of my co-hosts, I really appreciate everything. It's the start of something beautiful, and I look forward to the future. Thank you all. Goodbye.
I love you, Bungie.
Give me Destiny.